Welcome back, I'm Tedward, and today I'm up here with a Porsche press car. This is the Macan GTS that our friend Will Lee, PTSRS, has while we're out here in California. This Macan GTS is outfitted with the PSCB, the Porsche Surface Coated brakes, so they're not red, they're not yellow, they're not the PCCBs. This is kind of a cool option. It's beautiful up here, but our car is actually specifically beautiful because it's Miami blue. Although not a PTS color, it kind of looks like one, so I think it looks great. And it's got a 2.9 liter twin turbo V6. I know, a V6, not a flat six, but guess what? We live in 2021 and our Porsche SUVs can't be the flat six monsters that we want them to be, but we're gonna find out, can it carve a canyon? We just climbed up from Malibu and it's really beautiful, and I think we just need to go for a drive, because all the specs on this sheet are very wonderful, and it's nice to look at. We know that we have 375 horsepower. Not a whole lot in a car that weighs a bunch, but it does the trick. And remember guys, it's a Macan. It's not a crazy sports car, but it does handle particularly well. I always do it wrong whenever I do Porsche e-brakes. Every time it's like plugging in a USB. And the beauty is we can pull off the side of the road because we're in an SUV. These roads are incredible, but the consequences are high because you look out over the edge. And we do still have like runners and, cyclists and stuff up here, so we've got to be reasonable with what we're doing. Speed limit 40, radar enforced. I mean, famous last words, but I don't know that I believe that. Look at this! Oh, it's so beautiful out here. How do any kids survive when they grew up here? How do they not all die in a fiery car wreck? I mean, I guess a bunch of them do, right? Straight on. Nice pop from this exhaust. This engine sounds really good. I'm pretty surprised. Camber in these corners is just outrageous. It is my first time driving this road though, so forgive me if I don't go crazy. We're just out here having a good time. But I love that you can just dip right into that camber, spits you out, back in. Sorry about the yellows, but I had line of sight. Don't freak out at me, okay guys? Imagine your mail route is this road. Your job is to drive this road every day in a tin can Grumman. The distance between second and third, like between those ratios, I think is pretty significant. I would honestly like second and third to be a touch closer together, because when I go to downshift from third, it's a big jump into second. That's okay. What on earth? Is this real life? Wow. I'll go slow for your photo.
Oh, we got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
This is just insane. I mean, we're not California people, so when we see stuff like this, we just go nuts. To me, it just seems insane that people live here. These are their homes. That man is going, or that lady, sorry, or I don't know, or you know what, we're not gonna have gender discussions here today. That person is riding home, and I mean, come on, look at this fog. Are you kidding me? We're in the clouds. I will happily slow down my drive to drive through clouds. This is ridiculous. Will, tell me what you think about this car.
Well, the car, I mean, it's good, but also I don't think I nearly have the quote unquote balls to really take it like you do. So I'm just glad to be shotgun here.
This is just outrageous. Look at these views. I think the weirdest thing about a Macan is just that you can drive it like a sports car. You can really bury it. You can really get into it. Everyone from California watching this is just well, yeah, that's just what roads are. You don't understand. You just don't understand. We drive all the way to Vermont and New Hampshire to just get a tiny taste of something like this. And we might have, at best, 5 minutes of good road. At best. We do not get this. Incredible how the suspension just keeps all four wheels planted, even over the bumps, you know. Although the roads don't necessarily have potholes or anything nasty on them, they're undulating. You've got to watch out how this upsets the chassis. I'd be very freaked out driving my air cooler doing this, and you can feel that torque vectoring in the rear end as you get into the throttle. It starts to really push on that. It feels like it's pushing on the outside rear wheel. The car's incredibly neutral, which is good and bad. Oh my God, they're getting shots of the dog.
Yeah.
It's great because it doesn't like understeer. The problem is it's hard to get the tail out. You know, it's very difficult. It's very difficult to get this thing to dance. Try not to use the brakes too much. The downhill, man, though, it's a little tempting to use the brakes. Just take it easy, little crackles on that overrun. Keeping my eye out for cyclists around these flying corners, you know? Doesn't take much to ruin your day. I see what you California people do when you're running Sunset late at night. You're animals. Always little rock slides. Got to watch out for that. Just a whole new set of rules out here. God, I can't believe it. We did not drive far to get here. The steering wheel too is really interesting because it feels very small in the hand, which I find to be interesting. But the grip, it's the right width, you know, it's not thick. It's not like BMW. BMW thinks like, oh, the thicker the wheel, the sportier. By now, we just got like a solid wheel. There's no place for your fingers to go through. What do you think about this color? Has Miami blue?
It's really grown on me. When it first came out on the 991.2, and I saw it in person, I really didn't like it. But it's always the case with all these colors when they get discontinued. At least on the 911 it did now. Then now there's something more appealing about it because it's very unique. So I like it, especially on this Macan. It's just really good.
I don't know if it's a 911 color for me, but it's definitely a Macan color for me.
I think because also like 95% of the Macans are all white, black, or silver. Nothing wrong with that. Those all look good too, but this just changes the experience of like owning these cars.
Exhaust note, it's very grunty. I know we're doing the downhill right now, so it's not like we're, you know, full chat on throttle. But, you know, the fact that I can do this downhill at a fairly, you know, reasonable rate, dive into those brakes knowing that they're going to be there, that's a beautiful thing. I didn't look at what the tires are, but there's plenty of grip on these. Not getting a whole lot of communication unless I'm just being a jerk with them. Like this, they should be heating up, getting the throttle a little bit. No push. It's really nice and progressive. At the end of the day, this is a Porsche, and that's a very cool thing to say, even if it's a, even if it's an SUV. I mean, typically, you know, it's easy to kind of look down on stuff like this. It's very easy to poo-poo an SUV and say like, well, you know, it's not a 911. We say that about Caymans too, but the Cayman has kind of quickly become one of my favorite cars. And you know, I'm not gonna go so far as to be like the Macan is not my favorite car, but no, I just think it's unbelievable that you could go and get one of these or rent one on Turo or something, and not only bring all of your friends on your vacation with your luggage, but when they're gone and they're like, you know, having a chill day at the house, you can go out and do this. That's crazy. So it's not outrageously powerful, but there's a bit of theater to the exhaust note, and it's got plenty of go. What's this? Why did he do this little headlight thing? I didn't like that. I'm gonna find something out ahead. Not totally certain. Just in case there's So, Will, you brought up a good point yesterday when we were walking Venice Beach. You were like, Tom, you really need to like move here during the winter. And that's a very good idea.
Now you gotta execute it.
I might consider that. Like, it'd be really cool to sublet a place, or if, someone was nice enough to be like, well, I'm not in town for a couple months. Maybe you watch my house. Yeah, I will watch your house, and I will also bring an M3 with a set of sticky tires. Oh, that's ugly. Sorry, BMW. You've just... It's trite to say you've lost your way, but yikes. It's the best because I love being outdoors. I love seeing beautiful scenery. I also love driving. And then more specifically, I love Porsches. And I get to do all of it at once. What an amazing experience this is. All right, so let's see. Let's do a launch control in the Macan. So no one behind us. We've got foot on brake, wide open throttle. She boogies, that's for sure. Launch control into Malibu. Wonderful. Sport Plus. Who are the sick puppies who built these roads, though? I mean, seriously. There's not even a sign for that turn. Loving these brakes. Torque vectoring doing its job. I just got right into it and it figures it out. It just drags me out of a corner. You can get on power so early with this all-wheel drive system. It's crazy. It's weird when like a Macan, you could be faster in a Macan than you can be in like your M3. Like, I'm pretty sure if I gave someone the keys to my M3, I could outrun them in this. Or I could outrun my Ghost. If life were a video game. Unfortunately, it is not a video game and there is no reset. Off throttle. Nope, can't get that rear end out. It will not play with me. I bet there's a setting where you can pull traction off completely or something. But no, it's not going to do it. It's just going to keep it going. Look at this legend just taking appliances up to some mansion out here in the hills. It's crazy how much traction this has. Yeah, this is something special. This freaks me out with all the rock faces, though, I've got to say. It's like you want to take the inside of the corner, but you're like, am I taking this mirror off with me? Look at that dip. This is nuts. Changing camera is just so satisfying. Unleash the power. What did we catch? Jeep or G-Wagon? Jeep. Honestly, there's probably more G-Wagons than Jeeps in this state. The best thing is, tomorrow morning we're going to Good Vibes Breakfast Club, and it's like, we're just doing this all over again. Look at the camber. Oh my God, the camber on these corners. I know I'm supposed to be talking about the car. This is more of a road review. It's amazing. I mean, it's like constant throttle. There's a lot of undulations. But it's still doing a great job keeping all four wheels on the ground, crossing up my arms just a little bit. But the steering rack, this ratio is nice and tight. This would be great for like a new Ferrari, though. Thank you guys so much for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Thank you, Will Lee, PTSRS, for the opportunity to drive this incredible Porsche Macan GTS. Thank you guys, especially the Patreon supporters who make this content possible. Don't forget to respect the drive, and I'll see you in the next one. Doing this in like a 356 Speedster would be pretty sketchy because you would have to be turning a lot